Yes, good morning, everyone. So, 5th of June 2019, at the head of so we'll start off with our main pair, which is Euro USD. We have Euro USD here, and yesterday we want to see first of all what we expect to happen yesterday before we move what we expect to happen there. So far we have a level here which is a very good resistance on the 4 hours, but as you can see, somehow the price is breaking above it. So this is still a very good place, just that price is likely to continue and even close beyond it. Have this, a very good resistance, and then the same place is where the price is now. There were multiple exhaustions before we had these exhaustions, but somehow the price climbed up and is still above 1.12575. So this is now a possible buy. The price is now above this level, which means as long as the price remains above it, we expect to be continuing even higher. But on the other side, we have a level like this. Of this one, this is like an indicator which shows that the active trend at the moment from when this was happening is upwards. From when this was actively upwards, and we expect that as long as the price remains below this level, we are still upwards. So we expect further move even now. Let price continue up. Let it continue up slightly. Just a second, I make that line bold. Price should continue up like that. Then retrace back slightly, or we can pick a buy at the lowest risk possible. So as it is, we have an active uptrend which began some time here. If you look at one now, it's much more clearer that uptrend actually started from when the price was here. There was an active uptrend. As it is at the moment, we are still upward. So what this means is where the price is at the moment, there's high chances we are continuing to the upper side, because from this point, this was on 31st of May, price has been upwards Monday, yesterday, and even today. We expect price to continue even higher. Now let's say time frame, overall trend is downwards, is upwards, sorry, from this point actively to the upper side. You see the price going up, retraces up, then we expect it to continue. So if you are looking at Euro USD at the moment, you should be looking for a buy. We recommend you look for a buy. Expect price to continue to the upper side. And if you're looking for a sell, this exact same place you're looking for a sell from, wait for price to clearly break above it, as I've mentioned. So the level which I said is 1.12689. If price can clearly ascend beyond it, then that will be a very good place to look for a buy from. So that should bring us the end of Euro USD. We move forward to GBP USD. On this side, GBP is upwards from the moment when price was here. We've been actively upwards. The moment when this was happening, the price has been upward. It attempted to go down at this point, but it couldn't go further. Then it went up, came back, attempted, nothing, and actively now on the upper side. So what this means is that if you are doing GBP USD, expect price to continue to the upper side. We expect further move to the upper side unless the trend indicator disappears. So what we want to happen now, what we want to happen now is for either the trend indicator, which is this one, disappear completely so that it gives us a sell signal, or it should give us a buy signal on the next candle, on the next few candles. So as it is, you can see we are upwards. Price keeps making higher lows. We have a low at this point, also have a low at this point. Then we expect that if price comes back to this level, maybe it should give us another low where we're supposed to buy from. So if you see a buy signal, we recommend you pick that buy, take that buy seriously, expect it to push price even higher. So we'll move forward. Let me look at this from 1 hour. 1 hour we have this uptrend. 4 hours, we also have, actually the 4 hours chart has not shown us any sign that we are in an uptrend. So if the 4 hours can begin to show us a green trend indicator below the candles, then that's a very good place to buy from. That will be the triggering a buy. So we'll move forward to the next chart, which is USD JPY. So far we if you can remember, we actually started selling USDJPY from the moment when it was here. We started selling it here. When this was happening, we were here, and then we said price needs to retrace back to the same point so that we can pick a sell. It did exactly that. It went down, came back, gave us another sell signal. We took that sell. That sell actually pushed price up to this level. So this was a good place that if you sold, you actually had good money. This was enough. This was very good money. This was very, very, very good money. 174 pips. That's very good number of pips. So if you sold it there, you ought to have been taking profit. You ought to have taken profit as at now. But if you did sell it, you still have the chance to sell it even now. Just that you need to wait for a signal. So far, we've seen a sell. At that point, we've seen that as a sell. There was a sell immediately when this candle was opening, and then we also had a sell when this was happening, the second candle. As we speak now, there is no clear sign for a sell, but if the red resumes, that is, if we see the next red trend indicator showing up on the next few candles, then that will mean you're looking for a sell. So even better if price can go below this level, if price can break below this level, listen, then that will be the correct place to look for a sell from. If price can clearly descend below 107.871, then that will be a very, very good place to be looking for a sell for a trade from. So we'll move forward. We'll move to our next chart, and that should be SP500. Previously, SP500 was pulling back to the upper side. We want to see if it actually pulled back, or if there are any changes we need to make, or if you're still downwards. So SP500 is here. SP500, we have it here. Show all. Here. So as you can see, it actually pulled back upwards. So yesterday, the reason we were saying this was a sell was because we had this one. We had the sell indicator showing us here that we're supposed to be going down, and then we had 4 hours which disappeared yesterday. So far it had been downwards. From the moment when this was happening, we were actively to the lower side. Yesterday, instead of going down, it actually pulled back up. So this is like an opposite scenario. The trend is showing us a sell, but the price action is showing us a buy. What this means is price is likely heading downwards. So if there's a level here and you find a very good sell signal, maybe around this level, then that would mean you're looking for a sell. If you can find a very good sell signal within this zone, then that would mean you're looking for a sell. So I'm not saying that you're supposed to look for a sell now. What I'm saying is, if you find a good sell signal within this zone, especially on the lesser time frame, then that sell you can give it consideration. You may want to try selling. We also have that. So overall, on the 1 hour chart, we are still upwards. As you can see, we have the trend indicator showing us active upwards. Then previously we were downwards, it went up, and currently as we speak, we are somehow upwards. So unless the 1 hour chart gives you a sell, don't bother selling this index. That's the first thing you need to know. Unless the 1 hour gives us a sell signal, that is a red trend indicator, in my case, you're not selling anything. Don't trigger anything. Let it be. Leave it for sometimes. Because if the trend is upwards here, you're likely to sell because there's a level, then you end up losing. 30 minutes, we are still upwards. As you can see, from the moment when price was here, we are still upwards. 15 minutes, we are still actively upwards. There's no sign that you're supposed to sell anything. So if there's no sign for a sell, you don't sell. If there's a sign for a sell, and in my case, if there's this red showing up, then there's a sell. So as it is at the moment, this is still upwards. We recommend buy positions. So we'll move forward. We'll move to our next chart, and move to our next chart. That should be Brent oil. Brent oil. So Brent oil yesterday was actually a sell, but as you can see, this is the entire day. Nothing much happened. It didn't do anything. This is the only thing which you saw yesterday. It did nothing at all. Like, it just moved and closed just some few pips above where it opened previously. So what this means is we still expect price to go downwards, just that yesterday there was no significant move towards the direction go to. So on the 1 hour, we are still into a sell. This is still a sell. In my opinion, this is still a very good sell. Still look for a sell. 4 hours, still recommend you look for a sell. Daily, we are starting a downtrend. So if you are trading daily or 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whichever time frame, just know we are still actively downwards. Therefore, look for sell positions. Sure, you look for sell orders, and the best place to look for sell orders are around the key levels. These ones, and then you also have these ones, and then there's also one at the top. So anytime the price approaches any of these ones, either this or this one, we look for a sell. So we'll move forward. We'll move forward to our next chart, and that should be gold. That's the next one and the last chart. Gold is here. So as you can see, gold, we've been suggesting a buy from the moment when this happened. We've been saying you're supposed to look for a buy, look for a buy, look for a buy. So if you actually bought, as you said, you can see the price has gone your way completely. We're actively upwards. So this means we are still upwards. As long as the price does not show us any sign for a sell, we're still upwards. That means somebody could have technically bought here yesterday. I will put a vertical line. Somebody could have bought there. Somebody could also have bought there. And that buy is supposed to be in it even as we speak. So far, we have a very good level, which price perfectly went above. And if price can retrace back to the same place, that will be a very good sell. So as it is at the moment, we recommend you for a buy on this one. Expect gold to retrace just slightly to the lower side so that you can pick a low risk buy, and that buy needs to be in between this zone. So gold, we are buyers, and we just want price to retrace back slightly so that you can pick a buy at the lowest risk possible. So thank you very much. That should bring us to the end of today's overview. We meet again tomorrow at the center. So no, before I leave, there's something I need to say, that today in the afternoon we are going to have a webinar on how to draw levels. We're going to learn how somebody can draw levels, like how do I come up with these levels? How can I combine indicator with the levels that I have? And what confirms for me that this is a key level? So we are going to look at that by 12 GMT today. So thank you very much. See you again in the afternoon.